In this video, I will show you exactly how trauma affects families in just 15 minutes, and you will be able to identify what you need to do with the trauma, what kind of healing you or someone you know needs. We often think of trauma as a physical wound, a visible scar that tells a story of pain and healing. But what about the wounds we can't see? The emotional and psychological scars that linger long after a physical injury has healed. Trauma is a deeply personal and often invisible wound that affects millions of people worldwide. It's the emotional response to a distressing or life-threatening event, leaving an indelible mark on our minds, bodies, and souls. Trauma isn't always about a single catastrophic event. It can stem from a wide range of experiences, some subtle, others overt, but all with the potential to leave lasting impacts. Abuse, neglect, witnessing violence, experiencing a natural disaster, or even living through a global pandemic like the one we recently faced, these can all be traumatic experiences. Trauma doesn't discriminate. It can touch the lives of anyone, regardless of age, background, or social standing. The impact of trauma extends far beyond the initial event. It can manifest in a myriad of ways, affecting our physical health, emotional well-being, and relationships with others. By understanding trauma, we can begin to heal, grow, and foster healthier relationships with ourselves and our loved ones. If you are new here, make sure to click that subscribe button and leave a comment below saying, "I subscribed." I will try to reply every comment. Have you ever felt trapped in a moment of fear or distress, unable to escape the emotional and physical impacts? This is what trauma feels like, and understanding it could be the first step towards healing. Trauma's reach extends far beyond the individual, creating ripples that impact families, communities, and future generations. One area where trauma's impact is profoundly felt is in parenting. The World Changer Parenting channel welcomes you home, and this channel is here to enlighten you on parenting matters. If you like it, like this video. Our experiences, both positive and negative, shape our beliefs, behaviors, and how we interact with our children. Unresolved trauma can create challenges in our parenting journeys, often leading to cycles of negative behaviors passed down through generations. Imagine a parent who experienced neglect in their own childhood. They may struggle to provide the emotional warmth and security their child craves, unintentionally perpetuating a cycle of emotional distance. Or consider a parent who witnessed domestic violence growing up. They might be hypervigilant, quick to react to perceived threats, even when their child is simply being a child. Trauma can also manifest in physical symptoms like insomnia, headaches, or digestive issues. Emotionally, it can lead to anxiety, depression, anger, and difficulty regulating emotions. These challenges can make it difficult for parents to provide the consistent, nurturing environment their children need to thrive. Recognizing the signs of trauma in ourselves and our loved ones is the first step toward breaking these cycles and fostering healthier relationships. It's important to remember that recognizing the impact of trauma is not about blaming or shaming. It's about understanding how our past experiences can influence our present and taking practical steps to heal and create a brighter future for ourselves and our children. I discussed more about how understanding trauma allows people to recognize its impact on their behavior and relationships in my book, Parenting a World Changer. By learning to handle trauma, we can improve our interactions and build healthier, more supportive relationships. And I can share more resources with you as soon as you subscribe to my email newsletter. Link is in the description below. You see, trauma's impact is like an earthquake. There's the initial shock, the visible destruction, but often overlooked are the aftershocks, subtle shifts that reshape the landscape long after. Trauma leaves enduring scars, affecting how we think, feel, and interact. It can manifest in many ways, subtle or overt, disrupting our lives and relationships. Trauma distorts our perception of safety and security, leaving us vulnerable and hypervigilant. This heightened alertness can be exhausting, leading to chronic stress and sleep disturbances. It impacts our relationships, making trust and communication difficult. The good news is healing and growth are possible. By understanding trauma, we can develop coping mechanisms and build resilience. We can create healthier patterns in our lives and relationships. Trauma manifests as emotional and psychological distress, but its impact extends beyond our minds. Trauma leaves its mark on our physical well-being. The body stores unprocessed trauma, manifesting in physical symptoms. Chronic pain, headaches, and muscle tension are common signs. Insomnia, fatigue, and weakened immunity are also symptoms. Recognizing the connection between physical and emotional symptoms is crucial. Holistic healing addresses both physical and emotional scars of trauma. Trauma's ripple effects extend far beyond the individual, often creating significant challenges in our relationships with others. It can make it difficult to trust, set healthy boundaries, and communicate our needs effectively. The good news is that healing is possible. Therapy and support groups can help us build stronger connections and create more fulfilling relationships. Trauma often brings to mind a single catastrophic event, yet childhood trauma subtly shapes our lives. But people who learn to cope with trauma develop stronger coping mechanisms, which can help them navigate future challenges. This resilience leads to a more fulfilling and balanced life. Early trauma disrupts brain development. It can stem from abuse, neglect, or violence. This alters emotional and cognitive growth, leading to long-term health issues. Emotional regulation and attachment suffer. Anxiety, depression, and behavioral problems arise. Trauma impacts adulthood, affecting relationships and well-being. Trust and intimacy issues persist. Self-destructive behaviors may develop, but healing is possible. Support and understanding foster recovery. Creating supportive environments helps children heal and thrive. Trauma is not a one-size-fits-all experience. It manifests differently in each individual, shaped by various factors. Some traumatic experiences are obvious, others are subtle and often go unrecognized. Trauma is subjective. What may seem insignificant to one can be deeply traumatic to another. Emotional abuse often goes unnoticed, chipping away at self-esteem over time. It includes criticism, manipulation, threats, isolation, and gaslighting. The scars of emotional abuse can be as deep as those from physical violence. Neglect is another often overlooked form of trauma. It involves failing to provide for a child's basic needs. Neglect can lead to developmental delays and emotional problems. Recognizing the spectrum of trauma is essential for support and intervention. While some individuals experience a single traumatic event, others face a series of traumatic experiences over time, known as complex trauma. Complex trauma involves chronic abuse, neglect, or violence within close relationships. These experiences profoundly impact development, relationships, and well-being. It disrupts secure attachment, leading to interpersonal challenges. Survivors may struggle with trust, boundaries, and emotional regulation. Trauma-informed therapy emphasizes safety, trust, and empowerment. Healing is a journey. With support, a brighter future is possible. Growing up without a father was like navigating a world with a missing piece of the map. There was a constant underlying ache, a void that whispered of what could have been. I yearned for his presence, for the kind of bond that I saw other children share with their dads. The roughhousing, the playful teasing, the unwavering support that seemed as natural as breathing. One particular memory still lingers, etched into the fabric of my childhood. It was the start of a new school year, and I desperately needed a new pair of shoes. My old ones were scuffed, the toes worn thin from countless hours spent playing in the streets with the neighborhood kids. I mustered up all my courage and approached my father, my voice barely above a whisper, as I asked if he could buy me a new pair. His response, curt and dismissive, sent a shard of ice through my young heart. He told me to ask my mother, his tone implying that my request was an inconvenience, a burden he had no interest in bearing. That moment, and countless others like it, painted a stark picture of my father's emotional absence. It wasn't just the lack of physical presence, it was the absence of emotional warmth, of genuine care and concern. It was the feeling of being unseen, unheard, and ultimately unloved. This emotional neglect, while invisible to the outside world, left deep scars, shaping my sense of self-worth and my ability to connect with others. While my father's absence cast a long shadow over my childhood, my mother's unwavering love was a beacon of resilience in the storm. She was both mother and father, her strength and determination filling the void left by my father's absence. Despite facing her own struggles, she worked tirelessly to provide for me, showering me with the love and support that I so desperately craved. I remember her coming home late at night, her face etched with exhaustion, yet always finding the energy to greet me with a warm embrace and a gentle smile. She instilled in me the values of hard work, perseverance, and compassion, teaching me that even in the face of adversity, there was always hope to be found. Leaning on trusted family members and friends for support can provide emotional comfort and practical assistance. Openly communicating with loved ones about feelings and experiences can help reduce the burden of trauma. My mother was my confidant, my cheerleader, and my rock, her unwavering belief in me providing a much-needed anchor in a world like ours. My mother's strength wasn't just about providing for our material needs. It was about creating a haven of love and stability in a world that often felt chaotic and unpredictable. She taught me the importance of emotional intelligence, of empathy, and of understanding the perspectives of others. She showed me that true strength lay not in aggression or dominance, but in kindness, compassion, and the courage to be vulnerable. The scars of my childhood, though deep, have become a source of strength and motivation in my own journey as a parent. My experiences have given me a profound understanding of the lasting impact that both positive and negative childhood experiences can have on a child's development. Becoming a parent has been a transformative experience, a journey of self-discovery and healing. It has forced me to confront my own past hurts, to acknowledge the ways in which my childhood experiences have shaped my beliefs and behaviors. Through therapy and self-reflection, I have learned to identify and challenge the negative thought patterns and emotional triggers that stemmed from my childhood. I am committed to creating a different narrative for my children, one filled with the love, security, and emotional validation that I yearned for as a child. I want them to know that their voices matter, that their feelings are valid, and that they are worthy of love and belonging just as they are. Our journey as parents is not just about raising children. It's about breaking free from the chains of the past and embracing the transformative power of love, forgiveness, and world changer parenting. It's about using our experiences, both the painful and the empowering, to create a brighter future for ourselves, our children, and generations to come. Bullying affects millions, leaving deep, lasting scars. It's deliberate aggression to harm or exclude the vulnerable. Emotional and psychological scars from bullying can be severe. Verbal bullying chips away at self-esteem, causing shame and isolation. Social bullying isolates victims, leading to social anxiety. Cyberbullying is amplified by the internet's reach and anonymity. Bullying's impact can lead to emotional, behavioral, and physical issues. Victims may face anxiety, depression, and even suicidal thoughts. Remember, bullying is never the victim's fault. Addressing bullying requires supportive environments and empathy education. Abuse takes on many forms, each leaving a unique and devastating mark. It's a pattern of behavior that seeks to control, manipulate, or harm another person. Physical, emotional, verbal, OTR, financial abuse can erode a person's sense of self-worth, safety, and trust. Emotional abuse involves behaviors that attack a person's emotional well-being. It includes constant criticism, humiliation, and gaslighting. Verbal abuse uses words as weapons to inflict pain and control. Child abuse encompasses any non-consensual act. Financial abuse restricts access to financial resources. Recognizing the signs of abuse is crucial in breaking the cycle. We can break free by interrupting the cycle of abuse and fostering healing. Breaking free from abuse requires strength, resilience, and support. Acknowledging abuse and seeking help is the first step. Numerous resources like hotlines, shelters, and support groups are available. It's a journey of reclaiming your voice, power, and sense of self. With support, survivors can break free and create a brighter future. We can embrace healing and build a brighter future. Trauma impacts individuals, families, and communities across generations. But amidst the pain, there is hope. Understanding trauma and seeking support are acts of courage. Reaching out for help is a testament to your strength. There are resources available to guide you towards recovery. Let's commit to breaking the cycles of trauma and creating a brighter future. Trauma leaves its mark in myriad ways, affecting both the mind and body. Let's explore how these responses manifest and how we can navigate them. Emotional responses. Triggers can evoke a range of emotional reactions such as fear, anxiety, sadness, anger, or panic. The intensity of these emotions can vary depending on the individual and the severity of the trauma. Physical responses. Along with emotional reactions, triggers can cause physical symptoms such as increased heart rate, sweating, trembling, shortness of breath, or gastrointestinal issues. These physical responses are part of the body's natural reaction to perceived threats. Individuals may start avoiding places, people, or activities that they associate with their trauma to prevent encountering triggers. This avoidance can significantly impact their daily functioning and quality of life. Interference with relationships. Triggers can also affect personal and professional relationships, but the unpredictable nature of triggers may cause individuals to withdraw from social interactions or react strongly in situations, leading to misunderstandings and conflicts. Healing and managing these responses is a journey. Recognizing the signs and seeking support can pave the way for recovery, If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and watch the recommended video that you see on the screen. Remember, you are not alone. There are resources within the World Changer parenting community for you when you are ready to help you navigate the path of healing. Now leave an honest answer in the comments section. Share your story if you like. When did you realize you may have experienced some trauma in your life?